Welcome to the program Global Weekly News, serial number 75. First, we are going to see about Amazon strike all over the world. Make Amazon pay global movement. Jeff Bezos founded Amazon, an online retail trading company, in 1844 in Washington of US. Total number of workers globally in Amazon is 16,84,853. In America alone, 11,12,555 workers are working in Amazon. Jeff Bezos is the executive chairman of Amazon. There are many subsidiary units like Amazon Web Services for Amazon. Outside China, Amazon is the largest online retail trading company. Total assets of Jeff Bezos are $16,900 crore. Jeff Bezos is the third richest man in the world. Progressive International is an international forum uniting progressive and left activists and organizations all over the world. Union Network International, UNI, is an international federation. UNI has 900 affiliated unions in 150 countries. UNI's head office is in Switzerland. As per the call of Progressive International and Union Network International, Make Amazon Pay movement conducted a strike on November 24 in 31 countries, demanding fair wage revision from Amazon. This is the fourth global day of action of Amazon. November 24, Friday, is the day of large-scale retail trading. Many companies offer huge rebates to attract consumers this day. UNI General Secretary Christy Hoffman announced all over the world the workers are united in demanding fair wage revision and against the unfair fixing of sales quota. Amazon workers in Coventry town of Great Britain went on strike in the warehouse. Workers protested before the Amazon head office in London. In Italy, Italian General Labour Confederation conducted strike in Amazon. Strike was conducted on safety health issues and condemning the management for taking disciplinary actions on the workers on silly, futile grounds. Make Amazon Pay campaigners will undertake 150 protest actions all over the world on the common following charter of demands. Wage rise in all the Amazon warehouses. Hazardous allowance in the hazardous areas. Adequate work intervals. No unfair productivity targets. Withdrawal of excessive surveillance of the workers. Enhancing leave days with pay. Attention on health and safety issues, etc. Other demands are withdrawal of casual contract system, withdrawal of disciplinary actions on the workers taking up health and safety issues. They emphasize the workers' rights and collective bargaining rights for the unions. In Bangladesh, garment workers went on strike on November 24. Majority of the workers are women. The strike was on the right to form trade union, prevention of gender discrimination and gender violence. They demanded fair wage rise. Amazon sells the garments produced by these workers and get profits. But Amazon management does not recognize them as workers. In India also, Telangana Jig and Platform Workers Union, Rajasthan Jig and App-based workers, Amazon India Workers Associations went on strike on November 24 in Delhi and many other cities. These workers have to work standing 10 hours a day, no restroom for the women workers on menstruation, and are abused in a vulgar words for not fulfilling sales quota. The workers demand wages of 25,000 rupees per month instead of the present 10,000 rupees per month. Ending contract system, unsafe working place without sexual harassment, fixing of production targets in such a manner so as not to affect the health and mental health of the workers. In Indonesia also protest actions took place. In Canada, Britain, Japan, etc., protests were held against Amazon Web Services, polluting the climate. Amazon is a partner of oil and gas companies. Amazon stands up at the top in tax evasion and tax default. Amazon has taken upon the contract to conduct surveillance of Palestinians. Amazon in the next 14 years will invest $720 crore on expansion of Amazon Web Services in Israel. Workers of the world unite. Karl Marx gave this clarion call in the Communist Manifesto. It is heartening that Amazon workers are on struggle path globally. Comrades, next we are going to see regarding Israel-Hamas interim ceasefire. Well, that has been extended now. An agreement between Israel and Hamas was reached at the initiative of Qatar for a 4-day pause, that is temporary ceasefire. On November 24, 25, 26, 49 Israeli hostages and 17 foreign citizens were released by Hamas. Israel in turn released 119 Palestinian prisoners. On November 27, 11 Israeli hostages and 33 Palestinian prisoners were released. Relief materials for the affected people in Gaza reached in 200 trucks. Thousands of Palestinians greeted the Palestinian women and children prisoners who were released by Israel. In social media, emotional scenes of family rejoining were posted. The interim ceasefire was extended to another 2 days, November 28 and 29, as per the accord reached between Israel and Hamas. There are certain violations by Israel during the accord period, 4 days period. Hamas also threatened to withdraw, but Qatar and Egypt intervened and settled the matter. Israel arrested 56 Palestinians in West Bank of Palestine on 27th November. On November 26 and 27, 8 Palestinians were shot at in West Bank. Since 7th October, in West Bank alone, 239 Palestinians were killed by Israel. Over 3,000 got injured and 3,160 Palestinians were arrested in West Bank. In Gaza alone, since 7th October, 15,000 Palestinians were killed, over 33,000 got injured. Coming third, we are going to see an important music concert in Santiago of Chile. Roger Waters, an artist in music, was born in 1843 in England. His mother was a communist. His father, second lieutenant in the army, was also a communist. His father was killed in the war in Italy in 1844. Roger Waters has been championing the cause of human rights. He conducted music concerts for 2 nights in Santiago, capital of Chile. Victor Jara, an activist, was assassinated 50 years before under the dictatorship of Pinochet. Recently, his wife also expired. His daughter, Amanda, attended the music concert. Roger Waters, in his performance, praised the activist Victor Jara. He also sang songs praising Ho Chi Minh and Vietnam militants. Stop Genocide in white letters in red background formed the backdrop in the dais. Roger Waters firmly believes in the Universal Human Rights Declaration adopted by the United Nations in 1848. Since Roger's father died in the war, Roger Waters sang anti-war songs. Roger Waters is in support of Palestinian rights. Roger was branded as anti-Semitic, anti-Jews, and he was not allowed to conduct music concerts in Frankfurt of Germany and Argentina. In Santiago concerts, Roger Waters said that Gaza's younger generation Palestinians have understood Israel's ugly aggression and illegal occupation. He demanded permanent ceasefire instead of a temporary ceasefire in Gaza. Roger will conduct music concerts on 29th November at Peru, on 2nd December at Costa Rica, on 9th December at Ecuador. Indian journalist residing now at Chile, Director of Tricontinental Institute of Social Research, Comrade Vijay Prasad, enjoyed Roger's music concerts in Santiago and praised Roger in his article. Comrades, now we are going to see the spread of dengue fever in Bangladesh. Dengue fever is a viral infection transmitted mostly through the bites of infected female Aedes mosquitoes. It is more common in tropical climates around the world. Dengue fever has a likelihood to intensify to a more severe form in which internal bleeding occurs in the body. There are 4 types of dengue: dengue 1, dengue 2, dengue 3, dengue 4. Dengue 2 is mostly prevalent in Bangladesh now. The number of dengue patients getting diagnosed and dying throughout the country has surpassed all previous records. It is noted that 229 dengue patients died in the first 23 days of November. Mortality is higher in rural areas. If the patient does not receive enough care in a timely manner, he can be fatal. He will be facing the death. The country's healthcare system is severely deficient considering the size of the population and the challenge of providing care and treatment to everyone. A hospital with 500 beds has to serve 700 to 800 patients even using the hospital corridor. This year's dengue outbreak in the Bangladesh is the most severe, with over 3 lakh hospitalized patients and 1,577 deaths, including 156 children as of November 23. This year's figures are this. These figures do not actually represent the overall dengue situation in the country. Scientists predict a higher number of dengue cases, a tenfold the current number of patients. According to a 2019 study, treating a dengue patient in a government hospital typically costs about 11,000 taka. 1 taka is equal to 0.76 rupees. That is 1 taka of Bangladesh is equal to Indian Naya Paisa, 76 paisa. Private hospitals in the class A category often cost taka 2 lakh, while class B hospitals typically cost roughly 41,000 taka. Patients with severe dengue are forced to sell their assets and take out loans from their relatives. This dengue outbreak serves as an appropriate reminder of the significance of pro-people public health services in improving everyone's right to health regardless of status, location or identity. Comrades, lastly we are going to see the G20 meeting, which has urged reforms in financial institutions. Online meeting of G20 countries took place on 22nd November. The meeting reviewed the progress on implementation of the decisions of Delhi G20 summit held a few months back. Russian President Vladimir Putin, Canada's Prime Minister Justin Trudeau, Chinese Prime Minister Li Qiang, Turkey President Erdogan, Japan Prime Minister Fumio Kishida, along with others, participated in the online meeting. Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi presided over the meeting. All of us know that next G20 leadership has gone to Brazil. So here afterwards, Brazil will take in charge of G20 affairs, and G20 summit will take place next year in Brazil. Many leaders in this online meeting condemned Israel's war on Gaza. They called for immediate ceasefire. Modi expressed concerns about the loss of civilian lives during the war in Gaza and expected the world leaders would try to contain the conflict as soon as possible. Death of civilians anywhere is condemnable. It is important that humanitarian aid should reach in time and be uninterrupted, Modi said. The Indian government has faced, Modi is hypocritic. You see, the Indian government has faced many criticisms from the activists in the country for trying to suppress the voices in support of Palestine. India also abstained during the voting on the UN General Assembly resolution demanding a humanitarian ceasefire in Gaza. Speaking during the meeting, Russian President Vladimir Putin, who had missed the G20 summit in India, however, he attended the online meeting and he spoke that he was critical of global hypocrisy when it comes to reacting to military actions or wars. He noted how some of the leaders who were shocked when Russia militarily intervened in Ukraine were supporting actively the Israeli aggression in Gaza. The war and the loss of life can't but cause shock. But isn't anyone shocked by the extermination of civilians in Palestine, in Gaza today? Putin questioned. Turkish President Erdogan rejected Israeli claims of self-defense calling its actions in Gaza as open war crimes against humanity. Modi asked the world leaders to take serious steps to implement decisions related to climate financing, reforms in multinational development banks, and for the creation of a framework for ethical and artificial intelligence. Li Qiang, Chinese Prime Minister, criticized the politicalization of development issues by some countries. It is necessary to coordinate and cooperate more closely, revitalize multilateralism, continue to strengthen macro-policy cooperation, and pay more attention to the countries and the developing countries in the reform of World Trade Organization (WTO) and International Monetary Fund (IMF), Chinese Prime Minister Li Qiang said. Russian President Putin noted that a significant share of global investment, trade, and consumer activity is shifting to Asia, Africa, and Latin American region, where most of the world's population lives. He also noted that chronic problems are worsening in the international financial sector in the sphere of energy and food security. Putin emphasized that the situation in the global economy and in the world as a whole requires collective consensus decisions. Thank you, comrades. See you next week. Lal Salam.